What does it feel like when an empire squeezes a whole nation so hard it taxes the very sweat from their skin? That's exactly what British did to India. For decades, they plundered its wealth, stripped its resources, and humiliated its people. But then, they went for something even more cruel: salt. The humble table salt. In a hot, humid country like India, salt wasn't just seasoning. It was survival. It kept the body from collapsing in the heat. It balanced the fluids in your blood and kept muscles working and the heart beating. And here's the thing. Salt was free. India's coastline were lined with salt flats. The sea gave it in abundance. And for centuries, poor farmers and fishermen would simply collect it from the ground. The British looked at this free necessity of life and decided it should be theirs. They banned Indians from making their own salt. They smashed the traditional salt industry. They forced the people to buy only British-controlled salt at high price, and then taxed it. This means that the poorest of the poor, the ones living on the edge of famine, had to hand over their last coins for something nature had always given them for free. It was more than tax. It was a chokehold. And that's when a man, barely 100 pounds, wearing nothing but homespun clothes, decided to fight the largest empire in the world with his feet. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi announced the Salt Satyagraha, a peaceful rebellion against the salt laws. He didn't call for violence, he called for truth force. He called it Satyagraha, civil disobedience, the strength that comes from standing in truth without raising a fist. Gandhi chose salt because it touched everyone. He was a smart man, rich and poor. He would walk 240 miles from his ashram to the Arabian Sea to make salt with his own hands. It took 24 days. Villages along the way poured into the roads to greet him. People left their homes, their work, and they joined him. By the time he reached the sea, thousands were behind him. Gandhi bent down, scooped up a lump of salty mud, and lifted it for the world to see. In that moment, he broke the law, and with it, the spell of British authority. Across India, people began making their own salt in defiance of the law. British police beat them, jailed them, smashed their pans, but still, they kept coming. The world took notice. Headlines ran in London, New York, and Paris. A little man in sandals were embarrassing an empire that claimed the sun never sets on its rule. It was the beginning of the end. We've seen this spirit here too, in United States. The Boston Tea Party, the colonists dumped British tea into the harbor to protest unfair taxes. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, sparking the Montgomery Bus Boycott, where for 381 days, Black communities starved the bus companies of their money. Henry David Thoreau, refusing to pay taxes that funded slavery and war. Civil disobedience isn't about chaos, it's about refusing to participate in your own oppression. Street protests? The system knows how to handle those. They've all seen it. But what they can't ignore is the quiet, unstoppable force of millions of people deciding, today I will not feed the machine. Imagine once a week, every week, a nationwide day where no one spends a single dollar with the corporations that control us. No gas, No fast food, no shopping, no streaming. Just for one day. You think they will notice? History says otherwise. The British Empire controlled nearly a quarter of the world. And yet, they were undone by a man with no army, no weapons, and nothing but truth in his hands, and salt in his palm. If Gandhi could do that to the most powerful empire of his time, if Rosa Parks could move the moral compass of a nation by simply staying seated, then what could we do? If we remembered the power we already have and decided together to use it? Namaste.